the desire for AI labor is booming right now.
Yeah. How do we know that? One, it's on the top of everybody's mind, but two, instead of trying to learn this stuff, we're seeing the uptick on these marketplaces where people are looking for AI experts, right?
Yeah. Well, check this out. So another article here by way of foxbusiness.com. Searches for AI skills on gig platforms surge as businesses embrace new technology. Interest in artificial technology. Interest in artificial intelligence has exploded in the last year after the rollout of ChatGPT. We know that. And fresh data indicates the frenzy for AI-related skills is far from over as more businesses embrace the technology. Here's some whopping stats. Freelance digital services platform Fiverr's latest business trend index released Thursday found global searches for AI content editing alone soared by 10,490% over the past 6 months, while inquiries for prompt engineering surged 7,345%, and those related to AI video rose 3,746%. Fiverr's analysis said its findings show tech remains top of mind for business leaders, and trends indicate that they have refined their focus, most importantly, seeking out AI experts to help them create tools and assets aligned with their specific needs.
Yeah. Most people know that it's necessary, but they're not sure how to integrate it. I think that's the bigger problem, especially for small business owners.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. ChatGPT. How do I leverage that in my business? A lot of the integration tools, like from a marketing automation standpoint, now have AI built into them. And so those need to get integrated into their CRM and their marketing automation. Challenges, they might not have the right ecosystem set up in order to be able to do that. And so, yeah, people are quickly falling behind the 8 ball on this big shift that's happening in the market. Those that are adopting it and leveraging it in their business, like we are, have a huge competitive advantage because we can run a skeleton crew and we can make hundreds of thousands of phone calls a week. We can, tap hundreds of thousands of viewers and get eyeballs on our ads. We can communicate through conversational AI to book appointments. And we don't have very many people on our team, right? If you're based off of everything we were just talking about, if you are human capital heavy,
right,
you're looking for ways to offset that. And so that is the gap that AI brings to the table. I think the other big trend that we're going to see, and it's not on here, but I just want to mention it because I'm thinking about it a lot, are labor arbitrage. People are going to be going overseas, Philippines, et cetera, where people speak perfect English. They have great skill set, but the cost of living is substantially lower.
Correct.
And so between AI and overseas talent, it's going to be one of the ways necessary to compete. Because why would I pay a graphic designer $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year when I can just get a person over in the Philippines who will do it for 25,
right,
or 30,
right? Actually, that makes me. There's a clip floating around from Sam Altman that was actually floating around over the weekend. I could have you pull it up, but I don't necessarily want to do that. But he basically lays out he's like, here's how I would advise people on skills to handle AI. And he's essentially saying, like, spend 3 months going deep on it.
Right.
So you can get to a level of being proficient and fast enough with the movement of the technology. But his recommendation was to spend about 3 months getting really deep into it and forming the skills necessary to continue to move along with it. And that was his recipe of encouragement for people as they're looking at some of these prospects of, like, losing out to, Filipino talent.
Yep.
And so
it's going to be a reskilling. People are still trying to figure out how to leverage it. If you think of it more like an assistant, not like a competitor against you, you'll be less afraid of it. But people are just law of diffusion of innovation, right? There's 2.5% of the populations that's the innovator, 13.5% that are the early adopter, 34% are the early majority. And the hardest is to go from the early adopters to the early majority. We've already kind of crossed that chasm, which Jeffrey Moore talks about in his book, Crossing the Chasm, that about 18.5% is the clip. So the early majority won't try something until somebody else has done it first. So right now I can promise you as a business owner, you want to be in that early adopter, early majority. Don't wait until you're a lagger. Like the only reason you have a smartphone today is because you can no longer buy a flip phone. The only reason that you had a flip phone in the first place is because you couldn't buy a pager anymore, right? And so we all sit on that at various points in the time frame or in the spectrum of technology, but it's happening exponentially at the moment.
Yeah.
And so you don't have time. The time is right now.
Yeah. And so I'm going to give a shout out to our Gen Zers, not just in our house, but all across, because they've been pivotal. The struggle's been real today.
Yeah.
They've been pivotal.
Finish that coffee over there, bro. Let me need some caffeine.
In particular, C-Rock guys have been putting me on the game with AI. We had some knockout, drag out slugfest on AI, and I see the light for sure. So shout out to C-Rock.